Welcome back, everybody, to the Thomas Take Sports Podcast. I'm Ryan Thomas, your host, once again, bringing you another edition of the Thomas Take Sports Podcast. And in case you were not watching UFC's 207, UFC's 207th pay-per-view card, which, or 207th event, took place Friday night, December 30th. The UFC did not want to go toe-to-toe, so to speak, with the New Year's Eve holiday. So, a card was to be had on the Friday before New Year's Eve, December 30th, and Ronda Rousey was the main storyline. Ronda Rousey returning from the 1 year, basically 1 year and 15-day, 1 month and 15-day layoff from her knockout loss to Holly Holm. Since the last time she had fought, she was knocked out in brutal fashion by Holly Holm in November of 2015. What ensued after that was a carousel of the belt, going from Holly Holm to Miesha Tate and to Amanda Nunes. So Amanda Nunes defended her belt Friday night against Ronda Rousey. Also in the co-main event was Dominic Cruz versus Cody Garbrandt for the co-main event for the World Bantamweight title for the men. And Amanda Nunes put her female bantamweight title on the line. So two belts were on the line, a number one contender fight between T.J. Dillashaw and John Lineker. Those were the three major fights on the card. And I want to talk about those three fights, my post-fight reaction. So let's get right down to it. Let's talk about the main event first. The main event, obviously, Amanda Nunes versus Ronda Rousey. What are my thoughts? Holy shit, that's the first thought. Holy shit again. And then holy shit. Those are my thoughts on the main event. Amanda Nunes ran through Ronda Rousey like a buzzsaw, which was what I predicted to happen with David Poole on the show in a previous podcast episode where we kind of previewed the card and talked about our predictions for the fights. And I honestly wanted to give Ronda a little bit of credit. I wanted to give her the credit that she deserved, being the fact that she was a six-time defending champion. She looked like she was in impeccable shape, the best shape I had ever seen her in before a fight and during the weigh-ins. So I thought maybe she was taking this seriously. Maybe she would go back to the basics of her judoka pedigree and put that to the test against Amanda Nunes' Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt experience. And within the first 10 seconds of the fight, I saw Ronda Rousey come out with her hands up, looking to strike, and I knew right then and there that it would be over. Ronda Rousey has probably the worst striking in her division. She really always has. If you were to go back and look at her fights with Bethe Correia, where she ended up knocking out Bethe Correia, her striking is very sloppy. She leaves her face exposed, her hands are too low. She fires one punch at a time. When she does fire two punches, she leaves herself very wide open. And we saw that in fights that she won. The fights versus Miesha Tate. Miesha Tate clipped her twice in each fight. Not to the point where she was, dazed or anything like that, but she would leave her face exposed to where, Miesha would tag her, and that happened in the Bethe Correia fight as well. The Kat Zingano fight, Zingano just ran right after her. Ronda Rousey clinched her, threw her down, and submitted her. The Alexis Davis fight was pretty much the same thing. For whatever reason, Edmund Trevathan went far away from the pedigree that Ronda is known to have, the Olympic judo experience. And she tried to become some sort of a striker, and she's not. And that showed very badly, very much so, I should say, in the fight with Amanda Nunes. Ended in 48 seconds in the first round, where Ronda virtually didn't land hardly anything on Amanda Nunes or even tried to fight Amanda Nunes. It was over just as it started, it seemed. So the question is, what's next for Ronda Rousey? Should she retire? Should she continue? And I'm here to tell you that she's already retired. After watching that fight, that looked like someone that knew that they have serious limitations, that the division might have passed her by. She was the face of the division for a long time. She was somebody that was really the first face of women's MMA in the UFC, at least. Gina Carano was before her in Strikeforce, and Cyborg and Miesha Tate were kind of before her in Strikeforce, but in the UFC, Ronda Rousey put women's MMA on the map, and the division kind of caught up to her. And I think that if she continues to fight, she's going to seriously get hurt. And one thing that I have really hammered home, I've watched tons of fights, thousands of fights. I've been a fight fan practically my whole life, whether it was boxing or mixed martial arts. I've actually enjoyed watching submission grappling as well. And I have never seen, in all my years of watching fights, I have never seen a fighter do less than what Ronda Rousey did in the 48 seconds versus Amanda Nunes. Worse than that is the fact that she was out on her feet. Amanda Nunes didn't even really knock her down to the mat, but Ronda was clearly knocked out and just flailing and trying to get away, trying to backpedal, trying to move out of the way of Amanda Nunes' hard punches. And when a fighter is out on their feet like that, more often than not, they are shot. Mentally shot, physically shot, and it's amazing to see how she looks before a fight physically, and then now that she gets in the cage, it's almost like everything that she prepared for is out the window. I really think that loss to Holly Holm completely derailed her mindset, her confidence, and she just doesn't have it anymore. I do think she took this fight seriously. I don't want to say that, she didn't take this fight seriously. I really think she did. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter. Whatever it was that she was trying to do to take this fight seriously didn't work. And in a lot of the footage that I saw, she was trying to work on her striking. I don't know why. People are saying that she should retire. I just did. But let's just say that she doesn't retire. Let's just say that she wants to continue. She wants to go forward in fighting. She doesn't want to do movies. She wants to really redeem herself after losing 2 straight fights by TKO. Let's just say that's the case. That does end up happening. She wants to come back. The only way for Ronda Rousey to come back and be even a shell of what she once was is if she changes camps. She has to change camps. She has to train somewhere else. She has to go to another gym and train hard in every single discipline that MMA offers. That's the only way. She needs a complete reset of her career. And I don't think that she wants to be done. I think that she wants to continue to fight. She enjoys fighting. She likes the competition. She's a competitive spirit. Outside the cage and inside the cage, she does not like to lose. And I would assume that fire still burns, as Joe Rogan put it in the promotion for this fight, that he would imagine that fire still burns for Ronda Rousey and that she couldn't just go away from the sport like that. And I think that fire still exists. In the statements that she made after the fight, she thanked her supporters. She didn't say she'd be back. She said that she was going to take some time to regroup. I think she needs to take some time, get together with her family, get together with the people that are close to her, and really analyze what's the next step for her. If she wants to do movies or if she wants to continue training and continue fighting. I really think that the only way for her to become successful again is if she leaves the Glendale Boxing Academy, Glendale Training Center, whatever they call it, that Edmond, her main trainer, is the head of. And I really want to talk about Edmond more. I want to talk about him more because people like Dana White have said, well, why would she leave her trainer when they had success for as long as they did? They did have success, but it was more on Ronda's ability rather than Edmond's training. And for whatever reason, Edmund wanted to turn her into a striker, when really she's not. She's not. Whatever he is teaching her, the mitt hitting and mitt punching, that's not mixed martial arts, that's boxing. And it's not translating when she's going up against women like Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes, who are two of the best strikers, not only in the women's division, but in the UFC, period. They're two of the very best, probably in the top 10, I would say. So at the end of the day, it just does not translate. She needs to go to an Alliance training center. She needs to go to just another training center. It would be a huge twist of fate if she went to Greg Jackson's where Holly Holm trains. I doubt that would happen, but she has to go somewhere where she is, where it benefits her. She has to go somewhere where it'll benefit her career. As far as Amanda Nunes goes, I can't say that I don't see anyone stopping her, because this is one of the toughest, most unpredictable sports, probably the most unpredictable sport there is. But her stand-up game is very well-rounded. She hits very hard. I don't see many women in the UFC's bantamweight division that can take a punch from Amanda Nunes. Valentina Shevchenko poses a threat to her. Juliana Pena poses a threat to her in different aspects of mixed martial arts. But Amanda Nunes is one tough woman. So I'm very proud of her. The way she handled the fight afterwards was great. She felt confident going into the fight. She felt confident after the fight, obviously. She had every justifiable reason to act the way she did, as far as being happy that she defeated Ronda Rousey, saying the things that she said. And most people are referring to other people as Ronda Rousey haters, but they really don't understand why they would want to see Ronda Rousey lose. Ronda Rousey put herself in this position. Not many people realize that when she was the champion, when she was beating Miesha Tate, she beat Miesha Tate after they were on The Ultimate Fighter for quite some time, and she decided not to shake Miesha Tate's hand after they had fought 3 hard-fought rounds. And that really showed her character, her sportsmanship in that fight. And then obviously the fight with Betch Correia, where Betch said she will cry, I'm going to make Ronda Rousey cry. Ronda Rousey knocks her out and then says, don't cry, as she's laying there on the ground unconscious. Most people thought that was like a savage thing to do, and it made her badass, when really it just showed that she was not a classy fighter. Holly Holm, she tried to fight Holly Holm at the weigh-in, where Holly kind of almost shoved her face with her forearm. Then she didn't touch gloves with Holly Holm. Then Holly Holm checked to see if she was okay. She would not look at Holly Holm. She has this weird mentality towards fighting that it finally has caught up to her. And she always had that mentality. It never went away. It never just showed up. It's always been there. She's always looked at her opponent as if they are complete scum. And that rubs off wrong to a lot of people, and it rubs off wrong on me, to where I thought as a champion she should have shown her face more after the loss to Holly Holm, walked around with pride, showed that she was going to make the comeback. But instead, she really let the defeat ruin her spirit as a fighter, and it was very disappointing. So that is my take on the main event, Nunes versus Rousey. Amanda Nunes is waiting for Juliana Pena or Valentina Shevchenko. One of those two fighters, I believe, will get the next shot at the UFC Bantamweight Women's Champion. Tune in for part 2, where I recap Dominic Cruz versus Cody Garbrandt. Definitely a lot to talk about in the co-main event. That was the Thomas Take part 1. Tune in for part 2.